So today we're going to go over our last 2 pages of our review. We're going to go over pages 555 and 556. Let's start with number 13. Ming needs 1/2 pint of paint, red paint, for an art project. He has 6 jars that have the following amounts of red paint in them. He wants to use only 1 jar of paint. Mark all the jars of paint that Ming could use. So remember, she needs at least 1/2. So I have to find the pints of paint or the jars of paint that had either 1/2 or more. So I'm going to go through each one. First, I'm going to draw. Let's pretend that's my whole paint jar, and I'm going to I know she needs 1/2. So I'm going to compare 1/2 with the following jars. Let's see. How about 2/3? I'm drawing the same size hole. If I divide this into thirds and I color in 2/3, can I use a jar of paint that has 2/3 of paint? Yes, 2/3 is more than 1/2, so I can use this jar. So A is yes. Next one is B, 1/4 of paint. So I'm actually going to erase this jar. Oh, actually I can just erase the inside. And I'm now going to actually model 1/4. I'll divide this into fourths and color in 1/4. I can clearly see that 1/4 is less than 1/2, so I cannot use that jar. I'll just cross that one out. That will not work. How about 4/6? Okay, I'm going to erase my paint inside, and now I'm going to shade in 4/6. So I'm going to divide this into thirds, and then I'll divide it into 6. So 4/6. This is 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. Will that work? Yes, 4/6 is actually greater than 1/2, so I can use 4/6 pint paint. That will work. So C also. Okay, let's go to the next one. How about 3/4? I'm going to divide my paint jar into fourths. One, two, okay? And I'm going to color in 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. I can see that 3/4 is more than 1/2, so I can use the 3/4 pint jar. How about 3/8? Okay, I'll erase my paint again, and I'm going to shade in 3/8. So let's see, I'll do fourths, and then divide it again into eighths. So 3/8 would look like this: 1, 2, and 3. So I can clearly see that 3/8 is less than 1/2. 1/2 is more, so I cannot use the 3/8 jar. So I'm going to cross that one out. That will not work. How about 2/6? Okay, I'm going to divide my jar into thirds, and I'm going to make 6. Okay, 2/6. 1, 2. Okay. I can clearly see that 2/6 is less than 1/2, so that will not be enough paint. So F will not work either. 2/6 will not work. So the answers are A, B, and D. All right, let's move on to number 14. There are 12 people having lunch. Each person wants 1/3, right, of a sub. How many whole sub sandwiches are needed? Use the models below, or use the model to show your answer. So each rectangle is a sub. I know that I'm going to divide them into thirds because each person will eat 1/3. So this is for person number 1, 2, 3. This third is for person number 4, 5, 6. This is for person number 7, 8, and 9. And this sub third is for person number 10, person number 11, and person number 12. So I can see how many whole subs do I need? I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will need 4 whole sub sandwiches to feed the 12 people. So the answer is 4. All right, number 15. Mavis mixed 2/4 of a quart of apple juice with 1/2 of cranberry juice. Compare the fractions, 2/4 and 1/2. So I can even draw a picture to help myself. Okay, here is 1/2. Draw the same size hole, and I'm going to do 2/4. So 1/4 and 2/4. And I can see that 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent. I also know that it's equal to a half if I can double the numerator. If I can double the numerator and if it equals the denominator, then I know it's equal to a half. So 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. So I know that they are equal. The answer is equal. Okay, the last one. Pat has 3 pieces of fabric that measures 3/6, 5/6, and 2/6 yards long. Write the lengths in order from least to greatest, smallest to greatest. Be careful. Well, I know they're all the same size pieces. They're all in 6. I'm just going to look at the numerator. So I know 2 is the smallest, so 2/6 is the least. Then comes 3/6, because 3 is the next biggest number, and the biggest number is, our biggest numerator is 5. So the answers are from least to greatest is 2/6, 3/6, and 5/6. All right, let's go to the next page. Last page. It says Cora measures the heights of these 3 plants. Draw a line to match each height on the left to the word on the right that describes its place in the order of heights. So I have 4/6, 4/4, and 4/8. If I wanted to, I could actually draw 4 holes that are the same size hole, and 4/6 would look like this. So here's 4/6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just drew 4/6. The next one will be 4/4. And this is 4/4. And the last one is 4/8. So I'm going to divide this into 4ths and then 8ths. Okay, and 4/8 would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can see that I know 4/4 is the greatest. So I'm actually going to draw a line from 4/4 to the greatest. Okay, 4/6 and 4/8. Well, I know 4/8 is actually equal to a half, because 4 + 4 is 8. And 4/6 is a little bit greater than 4/8. So the smallest one is 4/8. So I can see that has the least amount. And 4/6 is a little bit more than 4/8. So 4/6 is in between. The next one, Danielle drew a model to show equivalent fractions. Equivalent means equal. Use the model to complete the number sentence. So I'm looking for fractions equal to 1/2. Well, I can clearly see that, right? 1/2 is shaded. Or I also can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 equal groups, and I can see that 2 out of the 4 groups are shaded. So 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. Or I can see this picture, I can divide it into 8ths, right? I have 8 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 8 parts are shaded. So 1/2 is equal to 2/4 and is equal to 4/8. All right, Floyd caught a fish that weighed 2/3 of a pound. Kira, so Floyd caught 2/3 of a pound fish. And then Kira, I think her name is Kira, I can't see. It is, yes, Kira caught a fish that weighed 7/8 of a pound. Whose fish weighed more? Explain your strategy. So if I want to, I could draw a picture, draw 2 circles, try to make them the same size. And I'm going to divide this into thirds as equally as I can. And here is, I'm going to color in 2/3. This is Floyd's fish. Kira's fish is 7/8. So I'm going to divide this into first 4ths and then 8ths. And I'm going to shade 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can clearly see that Kira's fish is bigger than Floyd's fish. So I can say Kira, and explain the strategy. I can say that I drew a picture, and I can see that there's a bigger white space on Floyd's fish than Kira's. Kira's fish is clearly bigger because I have more shaded in. All right, last one. Sam went for a ride on a sailboat. The ride lasted 3/4 of an hour. What fraction is equivalent to 3/4? Well, I know I have 3 out of 4 equal groups shaded in, or I can see that I have, sorry about that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 equal groups, and I can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are shaded in out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 8. So 6/8 is equivalent or equal to 3/4. It names the same shaded part. Good job, everybody.